Here's a final straw to take a stride in our right direction. I can hardly see the sky, covering this lonely path. Nothing's built to last. I can almost say that.
Welcome to the Houston Ice Hockey Live, broadcast live from Kenny Lake, Alaska, here at the Kenny Lake Ice Rink. I'm joined here by Scott Yarr and also Michelle Easty with me. How you doing today, guys?
Doing pretty good. I enjoyed listening to the game last night. I wasn't able to make it out, but listened on the radio, and an exciting one all the way through.
For sure, 5-3, Houston gets the win last night. They'll play Glennallen again this morning. Just a big welcome to anyone listening in from Glennallen, as well as our own fans. Houston ends up getting the win last night by a score of 5-3, but Glennallen with a couple late goals. They score one with 2:23 left and then one with 23 seconds left. It's a big I think it's a big momentum shifter going into this second game this morning.
Yeah, it was exciting to listen to. Also, I mean, a lot of times teams down, especially by 4, get down on themselves, and you don't see that. But it was fun to realize, yeah, they were still playing tough, and got those last 2 in, made it look better, and like you said, got a little bit of momentum.
So I had a chance to interview Shashua Fanau, the goal scorer for goal number 3 for Glennallen yesterday, and let's see what he had to say about the game last night. Here is Shashua Fanau from the Glennallen-Kenny Lake Panthers. He scored a goal last night against the Hawks, the last one of the game. Just 23 seconds left. It was also senior night. Shashua, kind of run me through that. What was that like?
It was very fun and emotional for me. My last time on the ice in Glennallen. And it was very special because I had a lot of my family members here. And yeah, it was pretty cool.
So run me through that last goal. Puck kind of gets out into the middle, and you put on a great burst of speed. You end up burying it on the breakaway.
Yeah, my buddy Sam Foyle, he poked it past Reed, just barely. Reed's one of the best defensemen in the state. And I was really mad because I missed 2 other wide open breakaways. So I kind of was like, I was ready for that third one.
So,
I just buried it.
So what do you think you guys need to do today to walk away with the win?
Probably just play like we did in the third period, just pick it up. A little bit more physicality would help. And just dump and chase.
All right, well, thanks, Shashua, and good luck out there today.
All right.
So that was Shashua Fanau, the goal scorer for goal number 3 for Glennallen. I also interviewed Aiden Ottengana yesterday. He had 3 points for the Hawks, including the third goal for them. So let's see what he had to say yesterday about yesterday's game. Here with Aiden Ottengana, he had 3 points last night for the Hawks, including the third goal of the game. Gets back on the stat sheet after taking some games off earlier in the year. Aiden, what's it like to get back out there?
It's great, getting back on the ice, playing another game, and it was a big game, and we didn't do that well, but we still got the win.
So what do you think that the Hawks did right last night?
Well, we just, we kind of passed the puck, We did really good passing the puck, finding people open, trying to get and skate the puck, too, as well.
I would agree. I'd say you had a lot of offensive possession time that was good. What do you think are some of the things that we struggled with?
Probably our defense, our defense. We didn't, at the start, we did pretty good. We held them pointless until they scored, and then in the third they scored 2 more, and it was just, we didn't do that great.
So what do you think we need to do today to get the win?
We got to lay the body more. I think hitting was one of the big reasons why we didn't do as well today. They're a good team, they're fast, but we got to at least separate them from the puck so we can get more offensive opportunities.
All right. Well, thanks, Aiden. Good luck today.
All right.
So that brings us into our 3 key points for the game, presented to you by Ace Waterwills. For the Hawks, key point number 1 is going to be puck control. When the Hawks had control of the puck yesterday, especially in the offensive zone, they dominated the play and didn't allow Glennallen to get a lot of shots off. Once they made some turnovers and allowed Glennallen to get some breakaways, some shots on net, that's when Glennallen really started getting the momentum shifted to their favor. So for the Hawks, it's going to be key to make sure they're holding on to the puck. Key point number 2 ties into that. It's limiting turnovers, and we saw, especially on that last goal scored by Glennallen, it was a turnover right in the neutral zone that Fanau takes straight up the ice for the breakaway. And with Josh Smolden in net, a little bit of a younger goalie, don't want to make him have be forced to stop any 1-on-0 chances. Then key point number 3 is going to be crashing the net. Nikki Frenshu has 48 saves on 53 shots, and she's a goalie that, and I'm sure you have more insight on this, Scott, since you've watched her all season, but she doesn't let up a lot of first shot goals. She will knock anything out of the air that's fired.
Right,
on.
yeah, her eye-hand coordination is pretty amazing. If she can stop it and get on it, then that's great, but those, sometimes it's like third and fourth rebound that is the issue.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And for the Hawks, they were kind of backing off the net at times, but most of their goals come when it's on that back door off those rebounds. So I think scoring is gonna be key, that they're getting her to move across the net and firing rebounds. Might as well do some key points for Glennallen as well. One of the key points I think for them is going to be capitalizing on turnovers, because when they did yesterday, they put it in. They really did a good job of taking advantage of the Hawks' mistakes. Number 2 is going to be just dumping and chasing, and that has to do with Glennallen's short bench as opposed to the Hawks. Hawks running another 20. They got another 20 suited up tonight.
Right, a few that weren't in last night, but they replaced those with players with fresh legs.
Yeah, and so I think for Glennallen, they're going to be running all their guys on the bench. You got to make sure that you're staying rested and that you're doing your job. You don't want to expend any energy that is not necessary.
Right.
And then key point number 3 is going to be shots on net. The Glennallen has 4 in the first, they have 8 in the second, and then 7 in the third. In that first period, not a lot of chances. As they start to get more shots on net, more chances, and that's just hockey. That's what
exactly.
you got to do to score goals.
Yeah.
So we're about 10 minutes away from the drop of the puck. We're going to cut to intermission, and then when we come back, we'll have your starting lineups and the drop of the puck for the first period. So don't go anywhere. It's the Houston iHockey live broadcast here from Kenny Lakes, Alaska.
so we'll take what's yours. Throw a smile, let the games begin. Never break a sweat, 'cause we always win. Haven't you heard?
Welcome back to the Houston High Hockey live broadcast game between the Glennallen-Kenny Lake Panthers and the Houston Hawks. Let's look at our starting lineups for tonight. Starting for the Panthers, number 10, Jesse Biddle. Number 13, Isaki Finau. Number 32, Gabe Doty. Number 91, Miguel Saavedra. And number 92, Shashua Finau. Starting in net for Glennallen is, of course, the goaltender, number 5, Nicky Frenshu. And starting for Houston, number 2, Noah Gillespie. Number 6, Blake Rogers. Number 71, Hayden Shivers. Number 44, JP Nix. Number 13, Isaiah Squires. And starting in net this morning for Houston is number 29, Josh Smolden. You know, I always do that. I say tonight, and it's actually a morning game.
Yeah, I love those morning games.
Gotta love them. And was up at 6:30 this morning and had the 45-minute bus ride, and now we get to watch some hockey. It's going to be Gabe Doty taking the face-off against Isaiah Squires to start things off. This is the same second line that the Hawks serviced last night. They kept their first two lines unchanged. We see a little bit of shifting around in the third and fourth lines as some guys have come up. Some other ones are taking the day off. So we'll have to see what that looks like later in the game. Referees are again Hugh Tao and Steve Woods. After a brief conversation, Hugh's ready to drop the puck at center ice. Face-off's down and we're underway as it's poked through by Gabe Doty. He fires one in on Smolden. Smolden knocks it to the corner. Gillespie on the far side picks it up and sends it up to the near side with the backhand. It goes to Rogers. Rogers loses it to Doty. Now it's in the skates on the blue line, sent back to Hayden Shivers. Shivers chips it out to JP Nix. Nix on the red line. Has it in his skates now as the Hawks try to dump, and they do make it back to Biddle on defense. Quickly passed up to Aoki Finau. He sends it across to his brother, but he can't quite get a stick on it. Now it's floating at the Hawks' blue line. Finau pokes it away, back to Nix. Nix skates up, passes to Tyler Shivers. Shivers on the red line. He steps into the Glennallen zone to the middle, but it's poked away by Biddle. Ottengana on the corner now on the near side. Picks it up on the hash mark, sends it down to Tyler Shivers. Shivers passes to the middle, and there's no one there. Shashua Finau will pick it up on the far side. Wheels it. It gets poked to the center. Riley Scott's there. He passes up to Gillespie. Gillespie into the skates of Biddle. Poked away by Ottengana. Back to Gillespie. A shot is wide of the net. Tyler Shivers on the near side. Passes up to Humphreys. Humphreys steps to the middle. Wheels around and passes down to Scott. Scott tries to center, but it's off the skates. Now Glennallen will just poke it out of the zone. A turnover now, and it'll be picked up by Spring. He dumps it deep into the Houston end. Travels around to the far side. It'll be picked up there by Gillespie. Gillespie moves up the ice with it now. Flips it to Riley Scott. Scott to Shivers. Shivers off the skate. He loses it back to Saavedra. Passed out to the neutral zone. Stopped by Humphreys and dumped back into the Glennallen end. Rude's going to pick it up out of the corner. Carries it to the far side. And now passes the puck up. Nix knocks it off the stick of the Glennallen forward. Now it's chipped away by Squires. Dumped back in by Nix. Glennallen off to break out again. Saavedra with the puck behind his own net. Passes around to Seifert. He's moving up the ice with it now, but he gets it taken away by Squires. Now it's centered, and Foyle is way offsides. We're going to have a stoppage in play.
Yeah, when Spring went down, after they stole the puck from him, Seifert went down, he kind of slid across the blue line and just kept going, and they had to get back, and of course, offsides.
2 minutes off the clock, exactly 13 left as Isaiah Squires takes the faceoff against Matthews. He pokes it up to Rogers. Rogers into the Glennallen zone, dumps it deep. Saavedra will pick it up behind his own net. Holds on to it now. He's moving out of his zone. Steps to the far side. He wheels it past Nix. And now, but it's stolen off a pass, and Nix will move back into the Glennallen end. Into the corner with it. Gets it knocked away by Rude. Matthews passes up to Foyle. Foyle loses it, then recollects at the bottom of the circle. Passes up to Saavedra. Miguel Saavedra moves out of his zone across the red. He's got some time here. Tyler Shivers coming in, knocks him off the puck, and now Shivers has a chance for a breakaway. Moves across the Glennallen blue. Fires a wrist shot. Frenchie with the first save. A rebound. Right to Ottengana, and the defense knock it away. Now it's poked away from Reed Humphreys by Shashua Finau. Can't quite get a stick on it. He has to pass it out to his brother. Aoki Finau moves in. Fires one that's deflected away. Hayden Shivers will pick it up in the corner. Passed out to Riley Scott. Scott moves across the red line for Houston. Into the Glennallen zone. Into the corner. Centers it. Up to Humphreys. Humphreys fires a shot, and a save is made by Frenchie. Finau will pick it up on the far side and dump it down. It's going to go all the way down the ice. We'll have a stoppage in play. Another couple great saves from Frenchie there. She makes the first couple saves, and the rebound is picked up by the defense. They don't allow Houston to fire on the open net.
And the defense needs to step up like that because that's, like we were talking about before the game, that's where she falls down. She makes some great saves up front, but when it's the second, third opportunity, sometimes gets by her.
Glennallen wins the face-off, but it's sent up to Hayden Shivers. Shivers fires one that deflects up and over the netting. Takes a weird bounce off
Yeah.
the bottom of the boards and flies up over the fence there. Noticing a lot of snow in the corners there. It'll be interesting to see how that affects play. It's already held up a couple of guys on both teams. As the periods progress later into the minutes, I'm sure it'll become more of a factor.
And we're only 4 minutes in, so yeah, it's building up quick.
Quick face-off, gloved by Frenshu for another stoppage in play. It looks like just a little bit of snow is coming down, not enough to build up, but maybe just enough to get in the ice. Shivers wins it through, pokes it down to Scott. Scott in the corner, centering an attempt to Ottengana, gets poked away by the D, and now Spring will come up the ice for Glennallen. In his skates, he passes to Shishua for now, but they're just off sides. We'll have another stoppage. I think this kind of choppy play is going to work for Glennallen. The more stoppages in play you have, the more of a break you get in between, whereas more of a smooth, flowy game with less stoppages, it plays into the advantage for Houston.
Right.
Tyler Shivers taking the face-off against William Matthews, and Shivers loses it back. It'll be picked up by Saavedra. Saavedra on his own blue. Passes to the middle, but it's poked away by Riley Scott. Back to Saavedra. Steps back and passes up to Seaford. Gillespie pokes it off his stick. It'll be collected by Riley Scott, carried into the Glennallen zone. Rude pokes it up, and they can't quite clear it. Gillespie sends it back in. In the feet of Rude. He pokes it back up. Gillespie sends it back, still fighting for it on the top of the circle. Now Scott passes down to Squires. Riley Scott on the circle, centers it. There's no one there but Saavedra. He takes it out of the Glennallen zone. Across the red line, gets it poked away by Blake Rogers. Now Houston sends it back to the Glennallen D. Rude passes across. He misses Matthew. And now Houston comes back into the zone. Squires fires one, and Frenshu knocks it away with the stick. JP Nix picks it up on the near side. In Glennallen's corner now, 4 skaters fighting for it, and eventually picked up by Squires. Squires carries it around to the far side. On the hash marks now. Wheels around. Steps back up to the top. Tries to pass it out, but he's knocked off the puck by Saavedra. Saavedra passes to the near side now. Foyle carries it and breaks it out into the skates of Gillespie. Gillespie will recollect and pass back to Humphreys. Humphreys now coming up the ice with some speed across the red, across the blue, into the Glennallen zone to the far side. Carries it, holds it, still looking for a pass here. Houston gets a partial change as Humphreys carries it back to the near side. Centering attempt, and it's poked away by Frenshu. Went off the skate of Rogers there. Picked back up by Nix. A centering attempt, again poked away by the stick of Frenshu. Now Glennallen will send it down the ice, and that's going to be an icing on Glennallen.
I think they might have done that on purpose just to get a little bit of a break because there's been a lot of offense. Nikki is going side to side, and sometimes you have to just get it out of your ice, even if it's going to come down for the face-off.
Yeah, for sure. And she does a good job of poking away those centering passes. Those are very dangerous, especially when you have someone on the back door. Shivers wins the face-off. It's picked up by Riley Scott. He gets it poked away by Biddle. Now Finau tries to pass out. It's dumped back in by Hayden Shivers, but the Hawks are off sides. They'll have to clear. Glennallen with some time here. Can't make the pass connect. It goes back to the Houston defense, who dump it into the zone. Biddle behind his own net to the far side. Asaki Finau there. It's in his skates. Ottengana collects it and now holds it. He passes up to Hayden Shivers. Shivers on the point. Fires one, and Frenshu makes the pad save. To Spring on the near side. He carries it out of the zone for Glennallen. Goes down the ice, and we'll have another icing on Glennallen. I don't think there's a problem with that, though. I think that icing the puck in those situations is not going to hurt you. You don't want to let it sit in your zone or try a risky move that could get taken away and turned into a breakaway.
Right. Well, so far, unofficially, I've got 6 shots that Nikki has kicked aside and 1 that might have been considered a shot on Josh.
Shivers wins it, pokes one at Nikki Frenshu. She knocks it to the corner. Riley Scott is fighting for it. He pokes it past Biddle. Ottengana moves in now, eventually picked up by Tyler Shivers. Back to Ottengana on the back door, centering attempt, and it's poked away by Spring. Up to the point now, it'll leave the Glennallen zone and picked up by Humphreys on his own blue. Humphreys passes up to Ottengana, goes into the Glennallen zone as it went past him. Scott moves in on the forecheck. Biddle pokes it up, but Tyler Shivers almost keeps it in, actually goes past his stick. Now Glennallen comes the other way. Seifert pokes it past Rogers. They're fighting for it on the blue. Matthews pokes it into the Houston end. Reed Humphreys picks it up, carries it behind his own net to the far side. Up to Squires. It's in his skates now. He carries it across the blue line. Poked away by Saavedra. Back into the Glennallen zone. Saavedra rings it to the near side. up to Gillespie. He pokes it through the skates to Nix. Nix up to Rogers. Rogers gets his stick lifted. Now it's up to Gillespie. He fires a shot. Nix accidentally deflects that one away. Humphreys picks it up. He steps to the middle. Fires one and another save by Frenchu. Seifert picks it up now. Centers it, but Isaiah Squires keeps it in. Saavedra now has some time as the Hawks had cleared, and it's sent out to the neutral zone. Hayden Shivers passes up to Humphreys, who flips it in to Rude. Rude has it poked away by Squires. Squires in his offensive zone, sends it down to the corner. Ottengana's there. He carries it around to the far side. Passes up to Humphreys. Humphreys fires a one, and Frenchu makes the shoulder save. Nix on the near side now as the Hawks still control it. Centering attempt to flex up to Tyler Shivers. He catches it, he fires one, and Frenchu makes a great save. Up to Isaki Fanau. He passes to Spring. Spring loses it. Now pokes it past Hayden Shivers into the Hawks zone. Humphreys will carry it around behind his net. He's knocked off the puck by Saki Fanau. Recollects, flips it out to Ottengana. Ottengana sends it to the middle, but Cassidy Matthews pokes it away. Saavedra sends it back to the Hawks blue line. Picked up there by Humphreys. Humphreys into the Glennallen zone. He steps around. He's got a 1-on-0, but it's poked away by Shashua Fanau. Centering attempt now. Gets out to Shashua, who carries it into the neutral zone, then wheels back around to buy himself some time. Passes out, knocked out of the air by Riley Scott. Picked up by Gillespie, and they send it into the Glennallen zone. Gillespie still has control. He dumps it down into the corner. Tyler Shivers moves in. Cassidy Matthews will carry it to the near side. Against the boards. Rogers fighting for it. It gets out to Seifert. Pass Gillespie. You can't keep it in. And now here comes Shashua Fanau with a 2-on-1. Passes to Foyle. Foyle back to Shashua. And they just missed the back door on Smolden. Out to Jesse Biddle on the point. He fires one into the body of Tyler Shivers. Now the Hawks are going the other way with it. Rogers fires one on Nikki Frenchu. She makes the glove save and will have a stoppage.
That was a pretty nice play, but they just were about a step behind and couldn't get that backdoor shot.
Yeah, great passing by Glennallen. Shashua Fanau just flips one on the backhand of Foyle, and Foyle gives it right back. Shashua with a great burst of speed, just can't quite get a handle on it to put the backdoor goal in. Glennallen wins it. They control it in their own zone. Poked away by Isaiah Squires. Nix now has it, and he sends it back behind the net. Cassidy Matthews passes up the ice. Up to Humphreys. Humphreys tries to flip it in, but Seifert takes it away. Humphreys recollects and now passes to Isaiah Squires. Squires passed Matthews and now centers it. All right, on the back door, and JP Nix with a goal. The Hawks go on the board first with a great passing play. Humphreys sends it out to Isaiah Squires. Squires finds Nix on the back door, and with 5:45 left in the first, the Hawks are up by 1. And that's kind of what we were saying that they were going to need to do before the game started, was make Nikki Frenchu move across that net. Mm-hmm. A great heads-up play by Isaiah Squires finds Nix on the back door. Hawks win it now. It's in the skates. It goes back to Hayden Shivers on the red. Shivers dumps it in. Rude's going to pick it up there. He passes out to Isaki Fanau. Tyler Shivers intercepts in the middle, dumped back in by Fanau. And it'll go behind the Houston net. Hayden Shivers carries it to the near side. To Nix. Nix passes to Tyler Shivers. Poked up past him to the red line. It's in the skates and Nix to Ottengana. Ottengana carries it across the blue. Steps to the middle. 1-on-0 with Frenchu. He fires one at the 5-hole, and Frenchu denies him. Ottengana now in the corner. It gets passed to Spring. Spring dumps it down the ice, and it's going to barely cross the goal line before Humphreys can get to it.
It was going slow, and I don't know if that's that extra snow that's building up on the ice.
I think
just
that's
slowing
a big
things
factor.
down.
Is the more snow gets out there, the slower that puck's going to travel on those dumps, and that works to Glennallen's favor.
Exactly. Less skating that those tired players have to do.
Tyler Shivers taking the face-off against William Matthews. He wins it to Ottengana. Ottengana passes to Shivers. They try to pass it across to Humphreys, but it's stolen away by Foyle. Humphreys then recollects and passes up to Riley Scott. Goes through his skates back to Biddle. Biddle up to Seifert. Seifert carrying it up the ice for Glennallen. Passes to Matthews. Matthews across the blue. Fires one that's in the skates now. Ottengana passes up to Tyler Shivers. Hawks clear the zone. They center it. And Biddle's going to be the first one to the puck. Riley, he dumps it around to the far side And now Seifert will pick it up. He's railed into the boards by Tyler Shivers. Up to Humphreys on the blue. Humphreys carries it down into the zone. Goes over to Cassidy Matthews. She moves up the ice, but she's knocked away from the puck by Ottengana. Humphreys picks it up on his own blue now and wheels around to the far side. Up the ice, across the red, across the blue. Into the Glennallen zone, to the middle. And poked up by Isaiah Squires, but it can't find its way into the net. In the corner, pass up to Nix. Nix, down to Isaiah Squires. Squires wheels around. He's knocked into the boards there by Biddle. Biddle passes up the near side, and it'll just leave the zone. Rogers picks it up on the red now. He passes across to Hayden Shivers. Shivers to Squires in the middle. Squires across the blue. Fires one on Frenshu, and she makes the easy glove save. We'll have another stoppage. Just 3:46 left in this first period.
During this stoppage, that goal by Nix, he had a couple of assists that went to number 13, Isaiah Squires, and 59, Reed Humphreys.
Isaiah Squires taking the face-off against Joshua Finau, and Isaiah wins it to the side. Saavedra will try to dump it out, but it goes to Hayden Shivers. Shivers fires one in deflection, goes just past Rogers. Up the ice goes Spring. He tries to pass to Joshua Finau, and now the puck is loose, and Smolden will just manage to cover it. Kind of a weird bounce. That puck is moving pretty fast. It's a cold, hard ice surface, and Smolden stops it with the stick, and it kind of bounces out. Joshua Finau almost with another backdoor chance. Face-off between Squires and Finau. Squires loses it back to Saavedra. On the point, fired, and Smolden knocks it away. Nix is going to pick it up in the corner. Tries to pass it to Squires. Squires loses his stick on the play. He isn't able to handle it. Nix will send it out of the Houston end, and Joshua Finau will pick it up in his own zone. Pass across to Rude. Rude can't hold on to it. Now Nix knocks it away from him. Tries to dump it back in. Nix centers. There's no one there. Ottengana racing for it, but Finau picks it up and sends it back to Saavedra. Miguel Saavedra tries to pass it up off the body of Aoki. Shivers now passes to Riley Scott on the near side. Scott on the top of the circle, down to Shivers. Shivers centers it, and Frenshu knocks it away. Finau moving up the ice across the red. Dumps it in on Smolden. Smolden stops it and kicks it to the side. Gillespie passes up. Gets it back off a deflection. Now he sends it up to Riley Scott. Scott steps into the Glennallen zone to the far side. He wheels around Rude. Behind the net, he loses it in his skates, and Biddle will pass it up. It's in the skates of Humphreys, who dumps it back in. Tyler Shivers gets a stick on it. Ottengana fighting for it on the tops of the circles. In the Glennallen zone, he tries to pass it out to the point, but it jumps over the stick of Noah Gillespie. Gillespie across to Humphreys. Reed Humphreys steps back, looks for some room. He passes to Gillespie. Gillespie up the boards to Ottengana. Ottengana tries to center it to Scott. It goes past him and then recollected by Houston across the blue. Scott dumps it in. Behind the net, picked up there by Biddle. Scott knocks him off the puck. Humphreys pokes it up into the air, kept in by Ottengana. Ottengana sends it down low and gets a change. Tyler Shivers will have to go down and try to forecheck. Biddle sends it to the far side. Goes past Foyle and down the ice. And it'll be picked up by JP Nix in his own zone. Wheels around behind the net, just 1:40 remaining in the first. Nix to Hayden Shivers. Shivers now moving up the ice with some speed. He gets it past Seifert. Comes into the Glennallen zone, 3-on-2 to the middle. Fires when it's deflected just wide. Isaiah Squires behind the net now, fighting with Biddle. To the near side, Seifert's there. It's in the skates of Isaiah Squires. They're fighting for it. Cassidy Matthews joins the fray. Now it's poked up to Humphreys on the point. It jumps over his stick and leaves the zone. Humphreys dumps it back in. Now the Hawks go on the forecheck as Jesse Biddle picks it up in his own end. Sends it to the middle. Stopped by Hayden Shivers. Deflection, and Frenshu with a nice glove save. Lots of shots from the points here, which is, I think, a good thing for the Hawks. And they're actually crashing the net pretty hard, but Frenshu has not given up a lot of rebounds today.
Right, yeah, and that's a good thing for her and a good thing for the Panthers, because those are the scary ones.
Hawks have it back to Humphreys. Humphreys fires, and Frenshu knocks away an absolute laser. Humphreys carries it in. It's poked away from him. In the skates of Squires. They're still fighting for it now. Eventually picked up by Rogers. Rogers centers it. Nix is all alone, 1-on-0, and he fires, and it's just knocked away. Behind the net is Doty. He passes up to Spring. Spring can't quite get a hold of it. It's dumped back in by Humphreys. 46 seconds left in the first period. Pass to the middle. Hayden Shivers just keeps it inside the zone. He fires a shot, and Frenshu deflects it up and over the fencing. bit of a chance for Glennallen, but they weren't able to clear the zone. They make a couple of dangerous turnovers there in the high slot.
Right, and the power that several of your Houston players have, they can, like you said, the laser, the bullet that comes
There's
in.
There's a couple big guys out there. Reed Humphrey's probably one of the hardest shots in the league.
37 seconds left in this period.
Tyler Shivers facing off against Doty. It's one back by the Hawks. Up to Hayden Shivers. Shivers fires one in French shoe again. Knocks it up and over the fence. We'll have another stoppage. They might run out of pucks down there if that keeps
that's
happening.
right. 1-0 is that lead. That goal happening with 5:45 to go by J.P. Nix.
Shivers loses it back, and Fanau sends it around to the far near side. Ottengana's there. He picks it up for Houston. Passes to Scott. Back to Ottengana. In his skates now. Saavedra pokes it away. Up to Spring. Doesn't make it out of the zone. Gillespie tries to poke it in, and just cleared by Spring. Doty now wheels around, moving up the ice. Shivers knocks it away from him. Back to Biddle. Biddle across to Saavedra. Saavedra falls down on the play. Here's a chance for Riley Scott. He can't quite get a handle on it, and 3 seconds are left. He fires one on Frenchie. Rebound Ottengana, and they score with 0 seconds left.
Wow.
And just like the second period for Glennallen yesterday, the Hawks have put one in with no time. This one is much closer. The refs are going to review it. We'll have to see if it holds up.
They say no goal.
They're going to say Ottengana pokes it in just a second too late. And so Glennallen will only go down by 1 going into the second period. A very close play, and that was one where yesterday I was very confident that Biddle puts it in before. I was not very confident about that one. I think Steve Woods is the back official there. He's watching the clock. Hugh Tau's probably more focused on the net there, and you saw Woods go over and talk with Tau about it, and probably a good wave off. I think he has the best angle out there on the ice. That'll do it for the first. When we come back, we'll have our first period stats, and then in a couple more minutes, the drop of the puck for the second period, so don't go anywhere. It's the Houston Ice Hockey live broadcast, game between Houston and Glennallen-Kenny Lake.
So God, she probably wants me to explore the universe. And if life is just a ride, it should be fun. And the air is free. I do whatever I want. I'm coming up. The air is free. I do whatever I want. I'm coming up. My heart is going bang bang when I sing for you. I live for the moment now. Being in a one subconscious mind. Maybe I'm a one-trick pony, but I ride it, honey. Maybe I'm a master of disguise. And the world will be polluted by the ashes of the sun. Ain't nobody gonna tell me where to run. If there is a God.
Welcome back to the Houston Ice Hockey live broadcast, live from the Kenny Lake Ice Arena here, beautiful Kenny Lake, Alaska. Let's look at our first period stats.
Okay, we had just 4 shots by the Panthers on Josh Smolden, so not really tested, but he stopped all 4. Then we had someone who was tested quite a bit again, and that would be Nikki Frenchshoe. She faced 20 shots. She stopped 19 of them. About a split second away from another one getting by, but she stopped the first one that came at her with just that split second to go, and then the rebound is what went in afterwards, so that didn't count. The one goal was by J.P. Nix, and he got some help from Humphreys and Squires for that.
A very similar first period to the one we saw last night. A lot of shots on Nikki Frenchshoe, not a lot of shots on the Houston goaltender. The most dangerous thing for the Houston goalie right now is when you're only seeing 4 shots a period, Houston's doing a pretty good job controlling it in the neutral zone, the offensive zone. When one gets fired on you, you got to make sure you're staying warm and ready for it, and it's about 8 degrees out there right now.
Right, it's a chilly one.
You got to make sure you're ready for those.
Yeah.
I think, much higher chance of something fluky happening when you're getting less shot on you than Nikki Frenchshoe, who stayed pretty warm this period. Another great performance from her. I think even better than last night, because a lot. Her defense was kind of scooping out some big rebounds, and they've had to do it a couple times, but she's done a much better job of controlling those rebounds today.
Yeah.
And the Hawks just aren't able to get any of those garbage goals that they were getting yesterday. Okay. Almost one at the end of the period. Ottengana is just a fraction of a second too late.
That's right.
Which is good news for Glennallen, because 1 goal compared to a 2-goal lead, that can make a big difference.
That is a big help. And you're talking about it being cold, 8 degrees. That's one thing that the Glennallen-Kenny Lake team hopes for, is actually a little bit colder weather when they're playing indoor teams, because they get used to the a little bit colder weather, below zero, and it is a benefit for them when they're playing a team that isn't used to it. But
especially with the weather that the Valley's been having right now.
Right,
38 degrees out there,
exactly.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Just want to say thank you again to anyone tuning in from Glennallen or Kenny Lake to watch the game today, as well as our own listeners. No penalties that period. Good period for the Hawks. They hope to keep it up. For Glennallen, Kenny Lake, I think the key is more shots on net.
Right.
We'll be back in about 10 minutes with the start of the second period, so don't go anywhere. It's the Houston Ice Hockey live broadcast here from Kenny Lake, Alaska.
Oh, hot blood love is gonna get you. Prove you're the better man. You wanna reach for the things that nobody can. All you need is to break away, yeah. Just keep telling yourself there's no shame. They don't know about who we are. They don't know about you and I. They ain't all blind by the stars of your eyes. Well, hot blood love is gonna get you. And get up and get up again. Say get up and get up all you can. Get up and get up and get up again. Oh Lord, yeah Lord. Here's a final straw to take a stride in the right direction. I can hardly see the sky, covering this lonely path. Nothing's built to last. I can almost say that I want you back, but I won't.
life. I really did. I wore a hat and I smoked a pipe. Oh man, I was number one on the hit parade.
so we'll take what's yours. For a smile, let the games begin. Never break a sweat, 'cause we always win. Haven't you heard?
Welcome back to the Houston iHockey live broadcast game between the Hawks and the Panthers. For the second period, Scott Yarr is going to be doing the play-by-play.
Okay.
And then I'll be back in the third. I'll be doing color until then.
Okay, we do have 15 minutes up on the clock. The Hawks are, again, swarming around to the left. A lot of Hawks on the ice, as we expected. Not near as many Panthers, as we've got Nicky scuffing up the crease, and across the way, Josh Smolden doing the same.
It's actually funny because right now, Bollander's the one scuffing up the
Oh,
crease. And
okay.
so Josh, they both, whoever's not starting in net, the other one goes and scuffs up the crease for him, and then they go to the bench. So
okay.
I don't pretend to understand goalies, but
nobody can understand a goalie except a goalie, I
that's
think.
true.
Yep. Yes, as we've got a 1-0 game, that one goal coming midway through with 5 minutes to go in that first period by Nix. Again, help from Humphreys and Squires. Both teams kind of stretching out now as they get ready for this second period. It was a clean game, clean first period, no penalties on anyone, just a lot of up and down. Well, not so much up and down, a lot of activity, unfortunately, for the Panthers in their end, but Nicky kept them in the game with some great saves, again, facing 20 and stopping 19 of them. Josh Smolden, of course, Isaac's brother, only had to face 4.
Yeah, Nicky's at a 95% save percentage right now, which is nothing to sneeze at with 20 shots on net. And Josh not being tested quite as much. We'll see what happened in the second. Glennallen put up double the shots than they did in the first last night.
Right.
So we'll see what they do this morning.
Okay, heading out to center ice. It's going to be Gabe Doty looking across the way at Squires. As the referee's making sure everybody's ready. And the drop of the puck, we are underway. It's going to be controlled by the Hawks. And Shivers sends it around to Gillespie. He's going to take it back behind the net and swing it around the near side. It's lost along the boards, but Shivers gets control of it, and he'll send it out into the neutral zone, picked up quickly by the Panthers, and they dump it back across the blue line. Now, right there is Foyle, but he can't get control of it. The Hawks dump it into the Glennallen end once again, and that will be number 44. That is JP Nix, who has an opportunity. We've got a shot that kind of goes off the side of the net, and still deep in the Panthers' end. Nix controlling it along the boards. He takes it back behind the net. It's going to be slapped away. A shot and a goal right off the bat. And a quick one coming kind of at a sharp angle and into the left side of the net.
And that's Isaiah Squires who puts it away. His second point of the morning. He's having quite a game. Nicky French just not able to get out to that far side. It was a well-placed shot.
A lot of activity out there, and the defense was not able to send it away, and then they paid with that goal. Now another face-off, right, controlled by the Hawks. Humphrey sends it out front to Scott. Scott takes it back into his own end and back over to Humphreys, who brings it down across the neutral zone, dumps it back behind the Panthers' net, picked up quickly by Otengana, and send around back behind the net once again. Now they center it out front. Shot by Humphreys, a save, and another goal, as all of a sudden the Hawks have picked up the intensity, and we've got a goal at 14:15, and now this one right here at 13:49. So two quick goals, kind of like in that first period yesterday.
And that was either Shivers or Otengana that stuffed it away. Kind of a awkward rebound right in front for Nikki, and she isn't able to get a handle on the follow-up shot.
This face-off is controlled once again by the Hawks. Shivers sends it along the boards, trying to get it forward to Otengana, and it's going to be slapped away by Biddle, grabbed by Shivers, but he dumps it back behind him. Now they send it forward once again, but right to Biddle. Biddle at his own blue line sends it out front. Taking off the puck there is Spring. He can't control it. Picked up by Shivers. Shivers across the Panthers blue line. He's in the left circle. Matthews putting pressure on him. Shot and smothered by Nikki Frenshu. And that one kind of hit her in the shoulder, went right down, and she put her glove on it. Doesn't want another rebound. Unfortunately for the Panthers, it's 3-0 as the Hawks have capitalized on a couple of quick plays.
And we do have the assist on that second goal. It was Isaiah Squires from JP Nix, so both of them with 2 points so far this morning.
Okay, and the face-off, again controlled by the Hawks, but quickly in there is Shashua Fanau. He takes control of it. It's back behind his own net. They're battling along the boards. Now the Hawks come out of the fray with it. They keep it in. That's Humphreys at the blue line. Across the way to Shivers, and he sends it in towards the net, picked up by the Panthers. They dump it down the ice, and it just goes to the right of the net, almost on goal, but cleared away and grabbed by the Hawks. Coming back the other direction is Shivers, and he dumps it into the far corner off to the right of Frenshu, and now they're battling once again along the boards. It'll be the Hawks who go down, and the Panthers come out of the crowd with it. That is Saavedra. He skates coast to coast and then loses the handle just as he crosses into the Hawks' end. It's in the corner. Again, battling away, and Humphreys will come up with it. He flips it across the blue line right to Saavedra. Saavedra dumps it back in. The Panthers have to clear, and they do so, but Humphreys has control of it before they can get back in. 12:09 on the clock as the Hawks are bringing it along the far boards, grabbed by the Panthers, but they can't control it as Rude will send it forward. Now they get it out of the zone as Seifert comes across the line, and then they're going to change lines as they dump it back behind the net. William Matthews going after the puck, can't get a hold of it as Humphreys brings it strong down the near side. He goes into the left circle, but good pressure from Biddle, and he can't get a shot off, so he goes back behind the net. He's going to come around, tries a centering shot, and a nice save, not from Frenchu, but coming in quickly was Rude to slap it away as it's back out into the neutral zone, and once again, the Hawks pick it up. That's going to be Humphreys. Flips it down the ice right to Biddle and Rude, but quickly in there, a shot from the Hawks and a save, a kick by Frenchu as the Panthers now go back on the attack. Shashua Fanau had it down the slot, but then lost it, and the Hawks dump it into the neutral zone. Now Panthers send it back into the Houston end. They have to clear, though, while the Hawks set up the play to bring it out, and they break away pretty easily, or break out easily, and Scott lost the handle on it, but Shivers keeps it in. No, the referee says they did not keep it in at the blue line. Looked real close, and the referee who's right on top of it says that we'll have a face-off outside the zone.
The Hawks have really come out firing here in the second period. I think that maybe no goal motivated them to come out and start firing it, and they've already put up, by my count, 8 shots on Nicky Frenchu.
They are on fire as Hutchinson dumps it into the Panthers' end once again. It goes back behind the net. Biddle will slap it away from a couple of Hawks, but quickly right there is Shivers to try to center it. Now is that Fanau? No, Saavedra who gets a stick on it and then kicks it forward. Now he goes across the blue line, takes a shot, and this one's going to be just over the crossbar and up against the fence, grabbed by the Hawks. They clear it. Yes, they do, and that will put them on the offense once again, but right to Saavedra, and he'll dump it back into the near corner. Panthers changing lines. William Matthews comes out for Saavedra and goes into the fray. We've got Asaki Fanau battling at center ice, and now it's going to be the Hawks who control it, and that's Shivers once again bringing it across the blue line, but he's in a crowd and still maintains control, and they dump it down the ice wide to the left of Frenchu and grabbed by Asaki. Asaki Fanau sends it across the ice over to Seifert. Seifert across the blue line and then taken away by the Hawks. Biddle dumps it out. Can't get beyond the blue line, though, and it bounces right back to him. So now he's going to backhand it over to Cassidy Matthews. Matthews gets it by a couple of Hawks, grabbed by Squires. Squires over to Humphreys, who keeps it in at the blue line. Almost lost it across the line, but then he gets tied up, and the puck is sent around once again. Matthews battling along the board. She's going to lose the handle on it to Rogers, and Rogers takes it across back behind the net over to Biddle, who dumps it down the ice. Are we going to have an icing call? Yes, we do. So we'll take the skate back to our right, and it'll be to the right of Frenchu, where they're set up for the face-off. We've got Shashua Fanau, Saavedra, and Spring heading out there. Whole new line for the Hawks as
we saw their third line here earlier. This is going to be the fourth pairing. It's Joe Mack centering William Mackey and Trace Merrigan.
Okay, and the face-off this time is controlled by the Panthers. They're able to clear the zone, but right to one of the Hawks in their own end, and Shashua Fanau grabs it away. They send it forward. Picked up by Spring. He tried to dump it back to Shashua, but Shashua was headed the other direction. Saavedra came in to help out, but he couldn't quite control it, and here come the Hawks as Mack tries to get by Rude. Can't do so as Rude sends it out, but kept in at the line. A shot is going to be just a weak one off to the right of the goal, grabbed by Biddle, and Biddle lost the handle. It gets sent right down the slot. Gillespie is trying to center it, and he takes a shot and a goal.
That's William Mackey with his first high school goal. The freshman with, I think, just one other game played, and a big setup by Noah Gillespie gives William Mackey his first varsity goal of his career. Hats off to him. He's one of the youngest kids with the probably the least experience on the ice. He's in his perfect position, and Gillespie hits him with a beautiful pass.
And it looked like Mackey was going down, but he still controlled the stick enough to poke it over the, I think that was the right leg of Frenchu.
Yeah, he's not the strongest skater out there. He's gotten a lot better as the season goes on, and I think that just comes down to positioning. Right
Yeah.
place, right time, and a good setup by Gillespie, a good finish by Mackey.
William Matthews facing off against Shivers. Shivers controls it. It's out to Scott. Riley Scott tried to go by Matthews, Cassidy, but she sends it out at the blue line. Now they battle again. Back to Asaki Finau. Finau lost the handle with Scott battling him. Plum comes in and grabs it, centers it. It's loose in the slot, and Matthews Cassidy goes in and slaps it away to help out her goalie, as Humphreys now has control of it at the blue line. He's in the right circle, battling with several Panthers along the way, and yet he maintains control. Now over to Shivers. Shivers can't control it. Back to Humphreys, though. Humphreys centers it, and there's several players going down. We may have our first penalty of the game, as there was kind of a pile-up right in the slot. We'll see who heads off to the box.
I think it's going to be Cassidy Matthews of Glennallen. She's going to go to the box for 2 minutes with a trip. Ottengon on the slot there kind of gets his legs taken out from out under him. It's the first penalty we've seen from Glennallen all weekend long.
And with 4-0, now the Panthers are in the penalty kill. The 5-on-4 as Shivers starts directing traffic from the circle, and Riley Scott heads in as one of the Hawks heads to the bench. Face-off is controlled by the Panthers, and they dump it down the ice. Quickly there for the Hawks is Otengana. It goes right into the slot. Finau tried to get a shot off, but Otengana was able to send it away. And here come the Hawks, bringing it across the way. Shashua tries to take Shivers off the puck, but he can't do so. He just maintains some great control of that puck. Over to Humphreys. Humphreys back up front. A shot. Loose puck and a score, and this one...
I think that's going to be Hayden Shivers who gets the goal on that one. It's the fourth goal for the Hawks this period. Not sure on assist. We'll have that in a second. But again, just another rebound right in front. Nothing much French can do about that. She makes the first stop, but they just aren't able to clear out the scramble of Hawks skaters right in front of that crease.
That was 29 seconds into that power play for the Hawks, and we're at 6:44 to go in the second period, and all of a sudden it is 5-0. And here comes the face-off, as it is going to be controlled by the Panthers this time, as Gabe Doty won that one, but now quickly the Hawks swarm, and Dreyer sends it over to Gillespie. Gillespie centers it, but Saavedra gets a stick on it, and he's going to bring it down. He goes across the blue line. He's in the left circle trying to center it, but he's being harassed. Now they get it over to Spring. He can't get the shot off. Grabbed by Shashua. He tries to center it back for Spring, but right there is Noah Gillespie to send it out of the slot. Now grabbed once again by Saavedra. He tried to backhand it, but it's taken away. Doty gets a stick on it, brings it into the right circle, but now slapped out quickly by the Hawks, and Saavedra is going to have to dump it back in. He does so with 6 minutes to go in the second period, and we've got a mix-up over in the near corner, grabbed by the Hawks, coming down the ice. Quick pass out front, taken away by Rude. Rude dumps it back across the blue line, and the Hawks are there to grab onto it, setting it up, waiting for everybody to get into position. They dump it out across the blue line once again. Now we're going to have offsides, as we had number 3, Spring, go across the line with the puck, and there are already a couple in there.
One thing I've noticed about the Glennallen lines is it looks like the coaches have changed them up a little bit. I caught Miguel Saavedra moving up to center. He had been previously playing defense.
Right. And the face-off this time controlled by the Panthers. Matthews back there, sends it forward to Asaki, but it goes by him. Grabbed by the Hawks as Otengana brings it around the behind the net. Now actually over to Caitlin Norton, I believe, in this game. No. We will check on that as the Panthers are trying to get something going. They're in the near corner, but the Hawks just seem to slap it away and bring it down the ice once again. Right down in front of us to Rogers. Asaki Finau trying to take it away from him, but Rogers sends it across the ice to Humphreys. Humphreys across the blue line. He's coming down strong, takes a shot. Nice save for Frenshu, and no goal as she takes another save. That one was point blank, and with 4:46 on the clock, Nikki diving from left to right, and another save. Now here come the Hawks once again. They're trying to center it. this one got by everybody, and Nicky was set up on the right side. There was an open back door, but nobody could get to the puck. Now here come the Panthers. Across the line is Shishua. Shishua takes a shot and slapped away by Josh Smolden. The follow-up shot is going to be stopped by the defenseman, grabbed by Rude. Rude sends it by Squires and over to trying to get it to number 6 Foyle, but it's taken away by the Hawks, and that's going to be Humphreys, who takes a shot from just inside the blue line. Another save for Frenshu. Shivers can't keep it in at the blue line. Doty is all alone. It's one-on-one. He comes down the slot, takes a shot. Oh, a kick save for Smolden.
What a save by Josh Smolden.
Wow.
Not a lot of shots this period, but he denies Doty there on the 1-on-0 breakaway chance with the pad, and that's what the Hawks need to see with him here, especially moving forward, not only to the end of this season, but the future, is that confidence to make those kind of saves.
Right. And Doty had the opportunity, but Smolden stepped up big, so it's going to be a face-off to his left. And this one is controlled by Doty. Over to Aoki. He takes a shot, another save for Smolden, and this one he just dives on. That was kind of a weak shot, but you never know if those are going to find their way through, and you just cover them.
Glennallen starting to pour it on a little bit. A lot of shots in the last couple minutes, and with 3:41 left in the second, the Hawks will have to take another D-zone face-off.
So here comes the face-off to the right of Josh. 3:41 to go in the second period. Controlled by the Panthers. A shot from Saavedra right into the breadbasket, and a save for Smolden. So they are increasing their numbers of shots. So far, Josh has been able to stop each of them. Face-off is this time to his left, controlled by the Hawks, and sending it around to the near boards. Coming in quickly is Scott. He can't control it. The Panthers keep it in, and now it's back behind the boards. Doty trying to center it out front to Shishua. Shot from the right, top of the right circle, too sharp an angle. Now on the left side. Doty trying to get between the pad and the post, but they couldn't do so. Now Rude can't keep it in the blue line, so the Panthers have to clear, and they do so, but the Hawks get control of it. They send it out front, and taking it down the way is Otengana. He will dump it into the Panthers' end, picked up quickly behind the net there by Saavedra. Saavedra gets knocked off the puck by Otengana, but then he gets control of it once again. Along the boards, battling. Let's see. Saavedra went down and the puck went the other direction. Now it's picked up once again by Scott. Scott is trying to get it, trying the wraparound, but the Panthers stopped him. Now we've got a puck going all the way down the ice. Are we going to have icing? Yes, we do. So we will have a face-off back to our right with 2:28 to go in the second period.
Huge hit by Noah Plum there on the blue line. Not necessarily dirty, but he knocked his man off the puck. He kind of forced that icing on Glennallen.
Right. As the teams head down to our right and to the right of Frenshu. Doty looks across the way at Squires. Ready to drop the puck. There they do. It's going to be the Panthers who control it this time. Can they clear the zone? They do so. But right to number 27, Hutchinson, who dumps it back quickly, trying to get it to Nix, but I think that was Shishua who broke up that pass. Seifert got a stick on it. Still back into the Panthers' end. Here comes Fanau trying to break it up, and he dumps it behind him across the blue line. Picked up by Hutchinson. Across the ice, trying to bring it by a couple of Panthers, but right to Biddle, who dumps it back the other direction. 1:55 to go in the second period. 5-0 lead for the Hawks as the Panthers are trying to get something going. Cassidy keeps it out of the Panthers' end over to Shishua. Shishua across the blue line into the Hawks' end. He lost the handle on it. Grabbed by Spring. Back to Fanau. Tries to send it across to Biddle. They're battling along the near line, or the blue line, and Nix is able to control it and dump it back beyond Biddle. Now Rogers, as he's about to step off the ice, gets a stick on it and dumps it deep into the Panthers' end. The Hawks change lines, but they're still in control of the puck as Frenshu kicks another one off to the right to Matthews. Cassidy sends it around behind the boards, trying to get it to Aoki. Aoki takes one of the Hawks off the puck, and Biddle gets knocked off the puck. He loses his stick as well, and over to Cassidy Matthews, trying to send it forward to Doty. It gets by him and goes all the way down the ice, but they wave off the icing as Mock had an opportunity to get a stick on it. Now it's in the near circle. They're trying to center it, and the Hawks step up big. That was Gillespie who came from nowhere to get a stick on it and drive it away. It was sitting right there in the slot, and they take it down the ice now, and here comes Otengana. He's in the corner. He's got some help from Scott, Riley Scott centering it, but right to a Panther, and that will be Rude who brings it out across the blue line, goes across the red line, then he gets knocked off the puck, and Humphreys will pick it up in his own end. 23 seconds to go. Humphreys going coast to coast. He's at the blue line. Sets up in the slot, takes a shot. Nice kick save for Frenshu and a follow-up save as the Hawks have a second opportunity on that. Bringing it around is Otengana. He's in the left circle and another save for Frenshu.
Couple great saves right there, both of which come from shots from Reed Humphreys. And credit to the Glennallen defense, too. They got Otengana camping out on that back door on the first one, but the rebound is knocked off his stick by one of the Glennallen defensemen.
5-0 is our score. We've got just 7 seconds in the second period. Face-off is to the left of Frenshu, and face-off is controlled by the Hawks. They're getting set up, trying to take a shot. They do, but it goes wide to the left, down to a second, and that will be our second period. But boy, the damage is done by the Hawks as they pick up 3 goals.
4 goals.
4 goals, you're right. It was just 1-0.
Just they came out with just some fire and some intensity, and it's good to see, especially after coming out in the second and third period, I think a little bit slower last night. They almost decreased their intensity as it went down. This time around, just coming out with a much higher level of intensity than the first, and we'll have to see what they do in the third. Glennallen, I think, manages to pick up a couple more shots. I have them at 6. For Houston, I had them getting a total of 15 on Nicky Frenshu. We'll have the actual stats in just a moment when we come back. Our second period stats, and then a few minutes later, the drop of the puck for the third period. So don't go anywhere. It's the Houston High Hockey live broadcast game between Houston and Glennallen-Kenny Lake.
Gonna tell me where to run. If there is a God, she probably wants me to explore the universe. And if life is just a ride, it should be fun. And the air is free. I do whatever I want.
Welcome back to the Houston High Hockey live broadcast game between Houston and Glennallen-Kenny Lake. Houston has come out with a storm of fire and fury,
right.
Put up 4 goals on Glennallen in that period. Let's look at our second period stats.
Hey, first of all, those first 2 in the period were so quick at 14:15 and 13:49. You mentioned it during the period. You know, it's almost like they picked up the pace just because of that no goal right at the end of the first, and they got 2 quick ones. Those were scored, first of all, by Squires and an assist going to Nix. So Nix involved in, actually Squires and Nix involved in both of the first 2 goals.
First 2 goals,
yep.
Both of them go to those 2 guys.
Then Riley Scott with help from Humphreys, and then we have
William Mackey.
Yes, and that was the one that you got a little excited about.
Yeah, William Mackey, first high school goal. He's right where he needs to be. He's kind of picking himself up the ice, and Noah Gillespie, probably some of the best hockey IQ and just know-how. He knows exactly what's going on the ice. He's got his head up. He finds Mackey backdoor. Nothing Nicky can do about that one.
Right.
As Mackey slides it in.
Then Hayden Shivers got the 5th goal with help from Riley Scott, and then picking up his goal maker or playmaker is Humphreys with his 3rd assist
And that
the
one
game.
came pretty quickly off the power play. The Hawks set it up on the point, and they have a little bit of room coming down on the far side from us at least, and just another rebound goal, one of those dirty ones. But that's what the Hawks needed to do to get these goals against Friendshire. There haven't been a whole lot of really pretty, breakaway goals.
Right.
It's all like passing across, good passing, good rebound control.
Right. Speaking of Friendshire, she faced another 19 shots in that period. So some great shooting by the Hawks. They just keep crashing the boards. That was one of the things you said they needed to do, keep getting those opportunities. So 19, and she had 15 saves. The Panthers only could muster 5 shots on Josh Smolden. One I thought was going to go in. That was a great one by Gabe, and yet nice save.
Gabe has great speed. He saw what was going on. He rushed forward, and he got himself that breakaway.
Yep.
He had a little bit of time. I think he did the right move for the situation, and Smolden just barely catches a piece of it. A good shot and a good save. I think I will say, though, of those 5 shots, I think they're a lot higher quality chances than they were in the first period. The first period, they're kind of fluttering in from the neutral zone.
Right, yep.
There was about 2 minutes there for, I think the last 3 minutes, that was almost a completely different Glennallen squad.
Right.
They held it down in Houston's end. They were throwing things on net. They were getting all these chances.
Yeah.
I think if they come out like that and play in the third, I think they can kind of, maybe even get back into this one if they get a couple quick ones. They just got to come out with some fire and some intensity, and I think being well rested here with this intermission is going to be a key part of that.
Help out. So as we look at the first 2 periods, only 9 shots by the Panthers, 39 shots by the Hawks. They obviously have been keeping control of the puck. The Panthers, like you said, had that flurry in the end. We'll see what happens after this break.
Yep, and when we come back, we'll have the drop of the puck for the third period. Make sure you don't go anywhere. It's the Houston High Hockey live broadcast, live here from Kenny Lake, Alaska.
And get up and get up again. Say you get up and get up all you can. Now you get up and get up and get up again. Oh Lord, yeah Lord. Here's a final straw to take a stride in our right direction. I can hardly see the sky, covering this lonely path. Nothing's built to last. I can almost say that I want you back, but I won't.
smoked a pipe. Oh man, I was number one on the hit parade.
just attitudes. You ask who we are, nah, who are you? We ain't got no guilt, won't hesitate. So back off or we'll put you in your place. Haven't you heard?
Welcome back to the Houston Eye Hockey live broadcast here from Kenny Lake, Alaska. Getting ready for the start of the third period. The Hawks have put up 4 goals in the second. They now lead the Panthers by a score of 5-0.
The Hawks came on strong right at the drop of the puck in that period, and then kind of lulled in the middle, but then 2 more near the end.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot more players out there for the Hawks. We've seen that those third and fourth pairings of lines going out there, and it looks like the defense are now the more senior defensemen are running with one of the 3 other ones. That's Nate Hutchinson, Caitlin Norton, and then Noah Plum got moved back to defense today. He's another guy that's played both forward and defense. JP Nix on forward today in Noah Plum's place. He's played forward, goalie, and defense.
And he had that solid hit
and
right there
Noah
at that
Plum
blue line.
Had a very nice hit on the blue line. I think it might have been Christopher Spring coming up the ice, and Plum just paced him right inside the Glennallen zone.
And it was a clean hit, like you pointed out back then. He lost the puck in the process, and he went down hard.
Hopefully the Hawks do back off a little bit here. We don't want to see anyone hurt. You like to see physical play, but you don't want to see anyone get injured, especially late in the season like this.
Right. So looks like is this the fourth line? I see
this
Joe.
It's going to be the either the third or fourth
Okay.
pairing. They got Joe Mack centering Merrigan and Will Mackey. Will Mackey with already a goal this morning for Glennallen. They're sending out Doty with Finau and looks like Foyle on the other wing. Puck is dropped and we're underway as the Hawks win it back to Reed Humphreys. Humphreys in the neutral zone. He's going to dump it past Doty. It's in the skates. And the Hawks are offsides. We'll have a quick stoppage just 9 seconds into the period. Sun's finally up here.
Yeah.
Early in the morning, a little bit better lighting. Glennallen wins the face-off back to Biddle. Cross to Cassidy Matthews. She carries it to the neutral zone and passes up to Doty. He misses the pass, and Humphreys will pick it up on the blue. Pass to Joe Mack. Mack dumps it down into the Glennallen end. Biddle's going to try to carry it out of that far side corner, and he pokes it up to Finau. Joshua Finau pokes it to Gabe Doty. Doty coming up the blue line, flips it past Humphreys. Now he gets in there with a burst of speed. Doty and Humphreys fighting forward in the corner. Humphreys knocks him off the puck. Kicks it past Finau. Now moves up the wing, up to Joe Mack. Goes past him to Biddle, but leaves the Hawks zone. Now Mack on the forecheck as Biddle passes back to Doty. Doty into the neutral zone. Humphreys picks it up on the red, and now he carries it into Glennallen's end. To the top of the circle, deep into the corner. Fires one, and it's off the post! And Frenshu's gonna make the save! Reed Humphreys rings one off the post. It was loud enough I could hear it up here.
Yes.
And it bounces into Frenshu's back. She reaches behind her and freezes it. And another great save by Nikki Frenshu.
Yeah, if she hadn't been able to grab it, that would have been sitting right there for somebody to poke in.
Isaiah Squires' line now out there. He's facing off against Matthews, and he pokes it through. Glennallen pokes it away now, and Spring has it on the hash mark. Isaiah Squires will try to dump it back into the zone. It goes out, though, and Nate Hutchinson now fighting for it in the neutral zone. Matthews pokes it past Hutchinson. Now they're fighting for it on the red as Isaiah Squires eventually picks it up and dumps it in for the Hawks. Rogers to try to dig it out. Saavedra is going to pass it around to the far side. JP Nix is there. He passes up to Gillespie. Now Gillespie passes back down into the zone to Nix. Saavedra against Nix. Nix ends up with it. He centers, but there's no Hawk player there, and Matthews passes to Asaki Finau. Finau carries it into the zone. He fires one, and Smolden will glove it aside and freeze it there. Kind of a weird shot on Smolden. It was up fluttering in the air. And those are always really scary, especially when you have a goalie that hasn't seen a lot of action in this game.
And he has only, in the first 2 periods, only faced 9 shots. Only 1 or 2 really tested him of those 9.
Yeah. Tyler Shivers wins it back to Reed Humphreys, and Humphreys is sitting on the Hawks' goal line on the near side. He passes up, but intercepted by Asaki Finau, and a shot is knocked aside by Smolden. Bad turnover there as Humphreys makes a perfect pass, but it's right to Asaki Finau in the high slot, and he fires one that Smolden is able to kind of catch in the breadbasket.
Everybody's changing lines at that stoppage of play.
Doty taking the face-off against Tyler Shivers, and Shivers will lose it back to Cassidy Matthews. Matthews dumps it in. It's stopped by Humphreys behind his net. He passes around to Ottengana. It's in Ottengana's skates, and he flips it back to Humphreys. Hawks kind of taking their time here. Humphreys now out to Scott. Scott centers. Goes to the Panthers in the middle. They pass it back to Biddle. Now it's in the neutral zone, carried in by Tyler Shivers. Shivers knocked off the puck by Jesse Biddle. It goes into the corner. Matthews tries to poke it past Shivers. It goes to Ottengana in the middle, and it's knocked aside by Frenshu. Ottengana to Shivers. Shivers on the goal line. Steps up high. Pass to Scott in the middle, but it's poked away by Glennallen. Caitlin Norton on the point now. Passes down to Tyler Shivers. Shivers knocked into the boards, and now picked up by Tyler in the corner. He steps to the middle. Pass to Riley Scott. Scott can't get the shot off. He wraps it around centers, but it's knocked away by Cassidy Matthews. Now it's picked up by Seifert as he dumps it down into the Houston end. Behind the net to be picked up by Humphreys on the far side now. Humphreys gets it poked away by Seifert. Seifert's knocked off the puck by Tyler Shivers. Riley Scott tries to carry it, knocked away by Aoki Finau. Up to Jesse Biddle in the neutral zone. Biddle passes up, intercepted by Humphreys. Humphreys carries it to the near side. Across the blue. Carries it deep into the Glennallen zone. Past Miguel, and now up to the far side. He's got two guys in front. He elects to carry it. Now on the far side, fires one on the backhand that goes over the net. Puck is up to the point. Cody Dreyer's there to stop it and dumps it back in. And now Biddle will send it around to be picked up by Spring. Spring steps past Logan Shivers. Dreyer is able to collect it and send it back to the back into the Glennallen defensive zone. Still on the near side, Jesse Biddle will once again try to break it out. He's met there by Cody Dreyer and Rhea Stiers. Kicked up by Biddle to Plum. Plum fires one, but it's wide. Racing for it is Saavedra. Miguel carries it into the Houston end and fires one on Smolden that's knocked away. Now it's picked up by Dreyer. Dreyer to Logan Shivers. Shivers carries it in his own zone and now passes up to Dreyer. Dreyer loses it off the stick and it'll be picked up by Rude. Rude passes up to Spring. Spring across the red line. Loses it, and now the Hawks go the other way. Logan Shivers pokes it up to Isaiah Squires. Squires pokes it past, fires a shot, and he scores top shelf! What a shot for Isaiah Squires. A great play to poke it past the defense. And he puts one over the shoulder of Nicky Frenshu. Hawks go up by 6.
Second goal for Squires, and also an assist early on. So he has been involved in 3 of the 6 goals.
He's really having a great morning. And now he'll take the face-off against Doty. Squires wins it to Nate Hutchinson. Hutchinson across to Gillespie. Gillespie in the Hawks zone. Passes out to Squires. Squires chips it past, and it's picked up by Nix. Nix dumps it into the Glennallen end. Goes behind. Frenshu pokes it back. And now over the head of Biddle as it's knocked into the air by Rogers. Rogers still maintains control. He passes up to Nix. Nix fires, and Frenshu with a nice save. That one was a little bit dangerous.
Yes.
Nikki looked very screened, and Nix fired a low one on the ice, but she was able to find it and freeze things up.
6-0 lead for the Hawks with 10:20 to go in the game.
Hawks win it, and a quick goal for Blake Rogers. That one came right off the side, and Nicky Frenshu pokes it away, but looks like that one is going to be credited to Rogers. He is able to kind of sneak around the Glennallen wing, and he puts one in on the far side. So now Tyler Shivers' line is going out there. They'll be facing off against William Matthews. Shivers wins it back and now picked up by Gillespie on the blue. Gillespie across to Nate Hutchinson. Hutchinson in Houston's end. He gets a little bit intimidated by Spring and has to pass it out. Gillespie going up against Aoki Finau, loses it to William Matthews. Matthews pokes it back down. Gillespie behind the net sends it around to Riley Scott. In the skates of Scott as he passes to the middle, William Matthews intercepts. Centers it, knocked away by Gillespie. Now Gillespie's coming up the ice. Going up against Saavedra. And it's in his skates in the corner of the Glennallen zone. Flips it to the middle. And Ottengana's there, but he's tied up by Rude. Tyler Shivers now has the puck for Houston. On the far side, centers it to Ottengana. Ottengana elects to move up the wing, and then it's poked away by Aoki Finau down the ice. Is going to be icing, as wasn't quite able to cross the red line. We'll have a stoppage in play at 9:23 left in the period.
Those last 2 quick goals, of course, the first goal, as you mentioned, was scored by Squires. Assist going to Hayden Shivers, and then 6, Blake Rogers with a goal, and an assist also to Squires.
Isaiah Squires having a pretty good night.
Yes.
Or morning.
Morning.
There, I did it again. Glennallen wins the face-off. It's Biddle who sends it up the near side. Humphreys will stop it on the point and send it back for William Mackey. Mackey gets it poked past him, and now Foyle comes up the ice. Across the blue line. Excuse me, that's actually Seaford, and he's knocked off the puck by Humphreys. Humphreys pokes it up to Trace Merrigan. Merrigan to Mack. Mack falls down the blue line, trips him up, and Humphreys picks it up, carries it into Glennallen's end. Now Gabe Doty has possession and a little bit of speed as he crosses the red line. Actually, that's Finau. Finau passes back, and Saavedra dumps it in for Glennallen. Behind the Houston net, Humphreys rings it up to the near side to Mackey. Mackey pokes it over to Joe Mack. Mack dumps it in. Trace Merrigan on the forecheck. He's got Mackey backdoor, and he's going to be the first one to the puck. Pokes it away as Biddle was coming in on the forecheck. Now Asaki Finau kicks it up. It's going to be picked up there by Saavedra. He's knocked off the puck by Caitlin Norton, and now Humphreys picks it up, coming into the zone. He fires one, and Frenshu is able to pretty easily make that save as it was right up into her chest. 8:17 left here in the third.
Humphrey's looking a little tired. He wants to take a break.
Yeah, I don't blame him. In this kind of weather, when it's a little bit cold and you're in a game like this, you want to not be taken. You're going to get tired out there pretty easily. Hawks had possession here as they're fighting for it in Glennallen's end. Isaiah Squires up to Hayden Shivers, sent down to the high slot, and Cassidy Matthews tries to poke it away. Nick centers it, but Frenshu denies on the near side, goes up to Plum, and now Spring knocks it away from him. Isaiah Squires tries to poke it back. It goes to Hayden Shivers in the Hawks' end. Sent down the ice, but isn't able to find any stick, and it's going to stop for an icing. And this third period is really where we're seeing the Hawks' deeper bench help them out. Like you said, with Reed wanting to get a change, he's able to do that.
Right.
He's able to get a solid break, whereas these Glennallen guys, they're only having a 30, 45-second break, and then they're right back out there. Isaiah Squires wins it, and Smolden's going to actually cover it. Or, no, they're not going to blow the whistle. They're going to make Smolden play it, and now it's going down the ice into the Glennallen zone. Kind of a weird play there. But Glennallen has it in their own end. Goes up to Spring. Spring pokes it out to Matthews, but now collected by Asaki Finau. He passes back to Matthews. Matthews fires, and now Spring on the near side puts one right in front. Smolden kind of loses sight of it. Hayden Shivers tries to flip it off the fencing. Now passed up to Rogers. Rogers into the zone. He's going to go back and get a change. So Glennallen has a little bit of time to break it out here. Biddle moving up the ice. Across the blue. Scott challenging him. Now Shashua Finau has the puck. He loses it to Hayden Shivers. Hawks can't clear, and it goes over to Noah Plum on the near side. Plum in the corner. Can't poke it past the stick of Foyle. Centering attempt collected by Hayden Shivers. Shivers across the red, across the blue, dishes to Otengana. Otengana can't quite get a stick on it. Biddle pokes it away. Hayden Shivers still in the corner, fighting for it. And now Otengana is sent to the ice by Finau. Tyler Shivers stops it on the point. Hayden Shivers tries to step through. Can't quite get a handle on it. Otengana now knocks a man off the puck, and the Hawks still have possession. To Tyler Shivers on the near side. Fires one, and Frenshu just barely knocks it away. A great save. Up to Hayden Shivers on the point. And stopped by Matthews. Glennallen goes the other way. Crossed the red line and dumped into the corner. Behind the net, and now up and out of the zone as the dump went all the way around the net and out of the Houston end. Glennallen with possession. They pass up to Foyle on the blue. Foyle fires one in a weird deflection that Smolden has to try to get a stick on. Saki Finau passes behind the net, collected there by Tyler Shivers. Tyler Shivers moving up the ice now. He's got some guys in front of him. Elects to hold it, now goes across the red, across the blue, into Glennallen's end. Fires one, and Frenshu with the easy glove save.
Nikki quickly picking up a lot of saves. Yeah, a couple of goals in this period, but unofficially I've got her with 11 saves already.
Yeah, and the Hawks are kind of shooting high on her. That's her bread and butter. She's going to make those saves all day. Great control, especially with her glove side.
Yep.
Face-off being taken by Cody Dreyer against Gabe Doty, and Doty wins it back to Saavedra. Up the boards, Nate Hutchinson can't keep it in, and now here comes Spring. He's got a 2-on-1 with Doty right in front of the net. Gillespie barely pokes it away from him, and the Hawks stop the rush. Logan Shivers passes to Dreyer in the middle. Dreyer pokes it past Matthews, but Saavedra's there, and he stalls the Hawks rush and passes up to Spring. Spring moving across the red line up to Doty. Doty tries to step past Gillespie, can't quite make it. Now a centering attempt to Finau, misses his stick. Cassidy Matthews dumps it back in for Glennallen. To Nate Hutchinson behind the net. He gets it poked away by Doty. It goes up to Logan Shivers. Logan moving up the ice now. He's got a couple guys in front of him on a 3-on-2. It's in Dreyer skates, and looks like they're going to keep playing. I thought I heard a whistle there, but the Hawks have dumped it into the Glennallen zone. Up the boards, stopped by Nate Hutchinson. A shot is knocked away by Nicky Frenchu. Glennallen clears the zone. Gillespie on the red line. Passes over to Dreyer, but he gets his pocket picked by Asaki Finau. Now Saavedra's moving up the ice. He tries to step past Hutchinson. He ends up with it in the corner. Centering attempt right to Logan Shivers, who will break it out for the Hawks. Biddle stops it on the blue, fires one, and it's into the glove of Nate Hutchinson. Hawks still have possession. Gillespie up the near side. Tries to chip it out. Stopped by Biddle. He fires one, and Smolden will catch it with the glove. Another kind of weird deflection. Smolden has his glove up and nabs it out of the air. A little bit of pressure there for Glennallen.
We talked about goalies are different. Who can understand what they see? But boy, when they're on, they can pick a puck out of anywhere.
Glennallen wins the face-off to Biddle. Biddle fires, and it's deflected away from the net by Shashua Finau. Reed Humphreys behind the net fighting for it. It's stuck on the back of the net. Now a centering attempt is knocked away, and the Hawks end up with possession on the hash mark. Isaiah Squires fighting for it in his skates. It goes back to Rogers. Rogers passes up, and now Nix will pick it up on the red. Just under 4 minutes left here in the third period of play as Isaiah Squires picks it up in the Glennallen zone. He's pinned to the boards by Rude, and Matthews will pick it up for Glennallen and send it to Shashua Finau on the far side. Biddle pokes it past Caitlin Norton. Now racing for it is Jesse Biddle, but Reed Humphreys beats him to it. Humphreys in the neutral zone, step past the Glennallen skaters into the Glennallen defensive zone. Wheels around Rude to the right into the slot, and JP Nix can't quite get a stick on it. Caitlin Norton on the red will try to dump it back in for the Hawks, but it's going to be stopped by Shashua Finau. He's able to dump it into the Houston end before getting a change. Reed Humphreys on the near side now. Flips it up to Ottengana. Ottengana centers. Caitlin Norton is going to have to pick it up, and she passes to Nix. Nix dumps it in for the Hawks. Rude and Ottengana going for the puck in the corner. Ottengana with possession. Holds on to it here. He's getting poke-checked by Seifert. Now Humphreys will dump it in. It's Rude in the corner as he sends it behind the net to Biddle. Biddle back to the near side. Tyler Shivers races in. Tries to center, but Seifert breaks up the play. Back to Shivers. Shivers passes to Riley Scott in the corner. Back to Shivers behind the net. Now he moves up the near side on the hash mark. Centering to Humphreys. Humphreys is not going to be able to shoot. We're going to have a penalty, and it looks like it's going to be against the Hawks. It's going to be a cross-checking penalty on Aiden Ottengana. I think that Ottengana's kind of tied up in front of the net, trying to push guys out of the way, and I think that's where he picks up his penalty. So with 2:36 left in the third, Glennallen goes on the power play for the first time this morning.
The other time there was a power play, that was for the Hawks, and they scored about 29 seconds into that power play.
Up to the point now, Biddle fires, but it's wide of the net. On the near side, Spring pokes it up to Saavedra. Right to Finau. Shashua Finau with the puck, passes up to Biddle. Down to the slot. Shashua Finau fighting for it. Can't get a handle on it, and Humphreys will send it down the ice. Glennallen's power play looking fairly strong here. Some good cycling. They now have to break it out of their own end. Saavedra passes up to Finau, but Reed Humphreys is there on the red. He'll send it back in. Biddle will stop it at the bottom of the circle, and now he passes up, but Riley Scott tries to pick it off. Can't get a handle on it. Saavedra's moving up the ice. Saavedra steps to the middle, but he falls down on the play. Now Noah Plum's on the near side, but he can't get a handle on it as Shashua Finau pushes him away. It's eventually picked up by Riley Scott in front of the net, sent down the ice, and the Hawks will get a bit of a breather here as Glennallen has to break it out. 1 minute left in the power play for Glennallen. They pass out. Sven now on the blue line. Loses it off the stick, recollects, still in his own zone. Passes back to Saavedra. Saavedra across to Biddle. Puck kind of bounces up in the air as it's passed out to Doty. Doty moves across the blue line. Chips it down to the far side. Noah Plum's there. He tries to ice it, but he can't get a stick on it. Humphreys will pick it up now and kind of waits till Glennallen challenges him before sending it down the ice. 34 seconds left in the Glennallen power play as Miguel Saavedra will try to break it out of his own end. Squires tries to knock it away from him. Still possession held by Saavedra. Tries to poke it past Humphreys now. Humphreys knocks him off the puck. Rogers going for it now. Loses his stick on the play. Humphreys eventually gets a stick on it, and it deflects up and out of the zone. Hutchinson knocks the puck out to the neutral zone. 6 seconds left in the Glennallen power play. Biddle fires one in on net. Smolden knocks it aside. Reed Humphreys will carry it behind, and now the Hawks are full strength. Reed Humphreys moves up the ice, just 30 seconds left in the period and the game. Humphreys across the blue line, down into the Glennallen zone. He's got Mack right in front, elects to carry it to the near side. Humphreys to the top of the circle, still holding on to it, steps to the middle, and now he fires one on Frenchou. She makes a nice pad save. Puck is poked to the neutral zone to Hutchinson. Hutchinson sends it down, and the Hawks clear and now go in on the forecheck. 3 seconds left as Miguel Saavedra passes out, and just like that, the game is over, and the Hawks have taken the second win against Glennallen this weekend. They pick up 4 conference points on the weekend. Josh Smolden with a shutout, a couple nice games from the Hawks forwards. Glennallen with, I thought, a pretty decent performance this morning. They aren't able to bury some of those close chances they have, but they managed to put a decent amount of shots on Smolden, especially in that second period. And, of course, I think they're going to Fairbanks next weekend to play Hutchinson.
Right.
And that will...
Hutchinson not quite as strong as they have been in the last couple of years.
Yeah, for sure. Hawks, Houston gets a couple of wins over Hutchinson earlier in the year, and
the Hawks head north as well. They're going to be playing a tough team.
Yeah, Hawks are going to be playing Monroe Catholic. Going to probably be their toughest 2 games of the season. They'll play Monroe on Friday, Saturday at, I believe, 6:45 or 6:15 and 10:45 a.m. Glennallen up there playing Hutchinson around the same time. When we come back, we'll have your final stats for the game, your 3 stars, and for Glennallen, their player of the game. And then we'll wrap things up here from Kenny Lake. So stay tuned. It's the Houston High Hockey live broadcast game between the Hawks and the Panthers. Welcome back to the Houston High Hockey live broadcast. As we wrap things up here from Kenny Lake. Houston takes the win this morning, score 7-0, and we'll look over those stats right now.
Okay. We'll talk about those 2 goals for Houston in that third period, and they came pretty quick, fairly early at 10:43 and 10:19. First of all, it was Squires getting his second goal of the game, and he had some help from Hayden Shivers. And then our final goal at 10:19, that was Blake Rogers, and once again, Squires was in on that one. He got another assist. So he had 2 goals and 2 assists. We had Humphreys with the playmaker. We mentioned that. After the second period, he had 3 assists in this game. A lot of scoring for the Hawks, 7-0.
A lot of scoring for the Hawks, and I think the difference between this morning and last night is the Hawks kind of sit back on their heels in the third period. They get it 2 early goals just like today, but then they kind of stand back. And Glennallen was all over them. They came out with some huge intensity, and I think they really dominated the Hawks after about the first 5 minutes of that third period. Today, the Hawks kind of never let them get back into that groove. They just remained all on top of them. I think because of last night, they were a little bit worried about Glennallen managing to claw back in and pop a couple quick goals
in.
on them.
Yeah. In that period, the Panthers had the most shots on goal of the game. As a matter of fact, in the first 2 periods, they had 9 shots. There in the third, they had 9 shots. And actually, the Hawks were a little low. They had 20 in the first, 19 in the second, and just 11 shots on goal in that third. 9 saves for Frenchu. So for the game, it was 18 shots by the Panthers, 18 saves by Josh Smolden. For the Hawks, they had 50 shots on goal and 43 saves for Nicky Frenchu.
Just another great game for Nicky Frenchu.
Yep.
I can't really blame her for any of those goals. They're all rebounds. They're one on nose, and it happens. That's hockey.
Yep.
The difference is that the Hawks this morning are just they were just all on top of those rebounds. It was really preached to them, I think, after the game last night. Is like, hey, you're not going to score on her by just shooting it straight up. You have to get in there and get creative, get dirty,
pick up some garbage.
Yeah, you got to be able to do it. And I think Glennallen has a few chances in that game. They just they're just missing it by that much, and it's the difference between having 1, 2, 3 goals and having 0.
Right.
For our 3 stars of the game, star number 3 is going to go to Josh Smolden of the Hawks today. 18 saves on 18 shots. He picks up another shutout on the season. Star number 2 is going to be William Mackey, scoring his first high school goal today. Congratulations again to him, and nice play, and a lot of credit to Noah Gillespie for that pass that set him up. And then our first star of the game is going to go to Isaiah Squires, who has 2 goals, 2 assists. He has the game winner in the first goal, and just an overall great game for him this morning. Okay, and then we are going to award our Glennallen Chiropractic Center Player of the Game for the Panthers today, and so far this year, I think every game Nicky Frenchu could get it. We gave it to her last night. Today we're going to go ahead with another defense person, and that would be Jesse Biddle. He had a lot of playing time and was doing a good job out on the ice, so congratulations to him. He'll enjoy a delicious and nutritious fruit smoothie from the Organic Garden at Glennallen Chiropractic Center. He really did a great job of keeping his head up today. He made some nice passes. He was clearing the zone. I was really impressed with his performance. And just because you're not on the score sheet doesn't mean that you have a great game. I think this is a perfect example of that. Yep. That's going to do it for us today from Kenny Lake. Make sure you tune in on Monday to the Houston High broadcast as Houston takes on Palmer at Palmer. We also have games on Tuesday before traveling up for the weekend for Monroe. And what about you guys? Okay, if you're listening and wondering where the Panthers are going this weekend, they will be playing the Hutchinson Hawks. We don't have the times yet, but it'll be Friday night and probably Saturday morning. We'll be bringing those to you live from the Patty Center and from the Big Dipper. So I think 2 different rinks we'll be playing at this weekend. Maybe we'll run into you guys. Possibly, yeah. So big thanks again to Scott and Michelle for not only letting me help out with their broadcast yesterday, but coming on today. Michelle did the camera today, and Scott, of course, doing the color and the play-by-play. Really big thanks to them for especially sharing their nice heated booth with me this weekend. I really appreciated that. That's going to do it for us from Kenny Lake. Make sure you tune in next time, and hope you have a good rest of the day.
do I